What if I told you there are people out there who've made $1 million with laser engraving? Would you believe me? Let's take a quick look and I'll run through how to design something very similar to what they're selling. So first of all, for this seller, started their Etsy store in 2016. It's now 2024. So for the last 8 years, they've made revenue of $1.1 million with a total sales of nearly 18,500 sales. For this shop, they started in 2015. So that's 9 years they've been laser engraving. And they've made revenue of $2.3 million. And then for this shop, who only started their Etsy store in 2019, that's 5 years ago, they've had revenues of $8.5 million. So when we come to have a look at some of their designs, these are things that you could do on your laser engraver, and their numbers are showing that you can make quite a lot of money laser engraving from Etsy. As we're a few months away from Christmas ornaments are obviously quite popular and a good place to start. So let me sort these by top reviews and the best seller and the Etsy pick. And so these two are from the same Etsy store. And so I think we're going to have a go creating something similar to what they have. I'm not going to try to copy their design. I'm going to try to create something that's inspired by their design. And so first up, we'll need what looks like snowflakes and maybe a Christmas tree. I have an Adobe Creative Cloud account, and so I can use Adobe Express. There is a free version of Adobe Express. So for this, I'm going to create a square size, something simple. And I need to look for some elements, and we need some snowflakes. And I'm going to look at some icons. So what I'm looking for are some snowflakes with a simple design. Something like this one. I'm not going to pick anything with elements that are floating in the middle because they won't be very easily laser engraved. I think this one as well. 4 different snowflakes we have. Name these appropriately. All 4. I'll probably end up using 1 and maybe 2 of these. But let's download them. Use a PNG. So I've just downloaded these as a PNG file. I prefer to use scalable vector graphics files or SVGs. So I'm going to go through a conversion. So to convert to SVG, I can just browse, find my PNG file that I downloaded, open this up, and then hit download. Currently I'm using a trial edition of Lightburn. Let me import those SVG file and zoom out a little bit. So with my select tool, I can just make sure these are moving as a single unit. But let's undo that. And we need to select this, hold shift, the middle part, and we need to do a weld so that these two shapes stay together. Select this file, and that moves. This file, these will move as one file now. Okay, let's zoom into our main work area. We need to create a circle. So if you just try to create a circle, if you just try to do freehand, you get ellipses, and you probably won't be able to make a good circle, but if you press and hold down left shift, you can get a good circle. And you can see the width is 6 inches, probably, let's reduce that down to like 5 inches. Middle a little bit more so I can work on there. One of the things that we can now do is do an offset. Okay, and what an offset will do is create another circle, and we can have the offset distance of 0.25 5, which is a 1/4 inch. We can do an outward circle or an inward circle, or you can do both. For this, I'm going to do an outward circle. So once I'm happy, I can click OK. And there we have a circle. Now, at the moment, if I can move these, and I can do this, and I can move these separately, which is not what I want. So Control Z and Control Z until we get back to what we want. Now I want to zoom out, and I'm gonna pick one of the snowflakes. So quite like this one. Bring this into the middle, and I'm gonna zoom in. Now this snowflake needs to be shrunk down quite a lot. Let me move my workspace around a little bit. Because this needs to fit inside here. I'm gonna rotate this a little bit. Zoom in. So I have one snowflake. One of the things that we could do is highlight the snowflake, highlight the inner circle, and then click on this button here. Just create a circular array of the objects, and then we can have like 4 of those. We could do something like that. Let's see. Control Z that. Let me try just two of those. Maybe I need to shrink this down a bit more. Because I want to get another snowflake in there. So let me try to left shift to go with 3 of those. And let's do, let's say this one. Shrink this down. Move it over here, and I'm going to delete these 2. Zoom back in. Shrink this to here. Tilt it slightly and move it over here a little bit more. I'm going to move it around a little bit. Somewhere around there. And then I can do the same again with this. I'm going to select it, hold down left shift, select the inner circle, and then do another 3 of those. Move this a little bit more down. Move across just a little bit. Now that's still selected. We did 3 of those. Still not happy. Just want to move this around a little bit. I think that looks better. So highlight your snowflake first and then the inner circle and do that. If you do the opposite way around, if you highlight the inner circle first and then the snowflake, you get lots of circles. So you get lots of circles around the snowflake rather than the snowflake around the inner circle. So snowflake first, and the circle. I'll make 3 cups of that. I'm happy with that. And so now we highlight all this, we can move it around, but each snowflake and each one of the circles is a completely separate entity. And so what we want to do is make this one piece. In order to do that, we have to highlight the outer circle and the inner circle. And we need to weld these shapes together. So we want to weld the inner circle and the outer circle together so that they become one continuous piece. Okay, and so now when we highlight the outer circle, okay, we can move the whole outer circle. So now what we need to do is kind of do the same for all the stars and the circle. So highlight my star, highlight the circle. Previously we did a weld. I don't want to do a weld. If I do a weld, it removes everything except for what's inside there. So what I need to do is a Boolean union of 2 shapes. So when I do a Boolean union of 2 shapes, it's going to cut everything that's in the circle there. Oops. So then, if I highlight the next snowflake and the circle, it highlights the snowflake as well, and I can do another Boolean union, and then I can shift, do the next snowflake, left shift, next snowflake, left shift, the next snowflake, left shift, and the next snowflake. And so now this is one entire piece. So when we move it around, it's okay. But now we're going to put a name in there. And so to do that, we can do the select text tool. Put this anywhere. I'm going to use the name of my dog. Bo. I can change the font because what we want is a font where we can bring everything together and have everything touch. And so let me change the size of the text first. Select this, move it around. I can this, shrink this a little bit. Move it. So what we want is for things to be touching. what I need to do is shrink. I need to make this. I need to make all these letters need to touch each other so that you have one continuous piece. So in order to do that, I can change my H space until every letter is touching at least one point of the next letter. One more. I think that looks good. So now I can make this a little bigger again. Have that there. And bring this over here. I think I like how that looks. And so from there, again, we need to Boolean join all of my center with my text. So that makes it a single shape. Let's zoom out a little bit and move this over. Looks pretty good. But what we need to do is also do a loop at the top. So for that, we're going to do another circle. There. And again, we're going to use the offset. I can have the offset on the outside or the inside. We're going to keep the offset distance. There, it has to be outside. So let's grab this. And then left shift and grab this one. Tool. And we're going to weld these two together. And I'm going to move it around. It's somewhere around there. And then I'm going to select these two and I'm going to center it. And then select this one and select the whole shape. And then do a union join of two things. And so now we have essentially a circle with the loop on there that you can put string through or hang it on the Christmas tree. We have the snowflakes all around. We have a name going through the middle. And each letter in the name is all joined and it's all joined. And we have a single cut line. So essentially everything's going to get cut out and this is what's going to be left. Now I need to change the speed and the power for my laser engraver. So that's 100. This is going to be 200. This is 200 millimeters per minute with the maximum power of 100%. Now that we have this, so I think everything should now be ready to engrave. Let me just save this so that I have it. I'm just gonna save this. Now I just need to move this around. It's gonna fit. Frame this up. See where that is. So let's start engraving. This will be about 15 minutes, but for you, it'll be a blink of an eye. If you're finding this video useful, please consider subscribing to the channel and liking the video. Let's get back to it. Now that everything's finished cutting and engraving, here are the end results. I'm pretty pleased with this. It's a little larger than I anticipated it was going to be, but we can always shrink that down to a more manageable size. It's crazy to think that people are making millions of dollars just from doing laser engraving, and I've just shown you how quickly and easily this can be. Want to know more about laser engraving or 3D printing? Check out this next video. I think you'll like it.